Hi, I'm Mike from the Morphin Network. We are here at Pasadena Convention Center for Power Morphicon. I am here with Chris Graham, who played the legendary Knight.
Leanbow and
Korag!
Yeah.
I hope Jeff Dolan doesn't hate me for doing that impression. How are you enjoying the convention so far?
Oh, look, I have to say, Mike, it's been a fantastic experience. It's my first experience. I'm a newbie, first time, and I have to say, I'm overwhelmed. I really appreciate the warmth and the love and the honesty that the people bring to the conversations. It's been fantastic. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm glad to hear you're enjoying your experience. So my first question to you is, what was your process for getting into the role of Leanbow?
Well, that's a great question, and I think some of the other actors will probably kind of mention it. We don't actually get the luxury of seeing the character too soon before we actually get on set. We kind of, it's, the roll-in period's about a week long if you're lucky. So you might get even 3 days before you get the audition, and then of course there's a wait time before you actually see some scripts. So the process is quite rushed. Fortunately for us, we're a really collaborative industry in New Zealand, and so what happens is we get to talk a little bit, with the other actors and say, where am I coming from, where am I going, and so you're able to build up some depth in your character. Generally, like I have to say, a lot of the stuff that you see in the character, like the good stuff, I'm going to say, comes from my own experiences and certainly, feeding off the other actors. Yeah.
Yeah, so one of my most favorite things about Leanbow is that he is a veteran knight, and there are several unmorphed fight scenes that you got to participate in.
Yep.
One in particular was against your own son. So my next question is, have you had any prior experience in swordplay, and how much time did it take you to get the choreography down for that fight scene?
Yeah, well, for some of us have, if you've gone through drama schools and the like, you end up doing a lot of sword play, as that's part of the tradition, part of the part of the learning. So I've had some experience at it. Also culturally, in my own culture, we use a staff that we call a taiaha. We also use patu, which is short clubs. And so I've had lots of experience. On top of that, I also I did some training with some stunt coordinators prior to getting the role, and as a dancer as well. So choreography and movement and stuff like that is kind of becomes second nature. And then what happens is they kind of give you this, they kind of give you a blank page, and they say this is what the frame's going to look like. Show us what you can do. And then they'll get a stunt coordinator come in and say, they'll sharpen up the edges. UG and company, they've got some fantastic people working, behind the scenes, getting us looking good. So we still have to come with something, and I just hope that I've done the fans proud.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about Korag is, and Leanbow for that matter, is the fact that his Zord is Catastros. I love how it's a horse and you can turn it into a centaur and it becomes a giant armor. Did you have a chance to watch your season afterwards and just look back on the overall experience of being this amazing knight character with such a unique Zord at your side?
You know what I have to say, that the privilege of being a fan is that you guys have had the opportunity. What we've had to do is we've had to cobble that experience together. I think I've mentioned it to a couple of people that we didn't really get the opportunity in New Zealand to see the season from beginning to end. So we've only seen bits and pieces. And since I've been here, this particular trip has given me an opportunity to connect with some people, so I can actually collect the whole season and watch it, beginning to end, and embarrassingly, I'm not embarrassed to say, I'm going to go home and watch it from start to finish, which is kind of something that's always been, it bugs us. No, it's bugged us. I mean, we shot this thing in 2005, 2006, so it's been a long time coming, but I'm patient, man.
Yeah, me too. I did not have a chance to watch the show from start to end in its entirety until it came out on Netflix. By the way, renew Mystic Force, Netflix, just saying. So last time we saw Leanbow, he was riding off into the sunset with Udana and Nick on a motorcycle.
Yes.
So aside from meeting Nick's adopted parents, what do you think Leanbow would be doing now in the Ranger universe?
Well, you know what? I think that because of the nature of who Udana and of course rest in peace, Peter. I think that we'd probably have this really great garden. It sounds really lame, but we'd have this really great herb garden, and we'd be doing stuff probably by the sea, going for doing what people do in their twilight years. I mean, really enjoying ourselves, enjoying our children, and maybe the Red Ranger, maybe he's gone on to have a relationship, and I don't know, who knows? He might, maybe we'd be raising grandchildren. I don't know, but I'd probably say that we'd still be staying in touch with our, with our abilities and our powers, and it'll be one of those things. It'll be a lovely thing to kind of come out of the garden, dust ourselves off, and duke it up again if we had to.
Wonderful, wonderful. So for all the fans out there, do you have any social media that they could follow you on?
Yeah, and again, it's been overwhelming because speaking with Brandon and stuff like that, he's just saying, Chris, you need to get your social media up because you've got this fan base out there. And I was like, what are you talking about? I never knew that. So I've got a Chris Graham official out there, and I know that there's only 2 posts. I'm not trying to be enigmatic. I'm literally only just cobbling it together. I'm showing my age probably. I'm not I do have an Instagram page for my own stuff, but that's just kind of lame photographs of cats and things like that, but not quite like that, but okay. But you know what I mean? So I do have a profile, and it is building. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. You can follow him here on Instagram. This is Chris Graham. I'm Mike Matusevich here at Power Morphicon. And before we say goodbye to our fans, shall we morph one last time?
Oh my gosh, why not?
Okay.
Are you going to do it with me?
Yes.
Come on then, let's go.
All right. Magical Source, Mystic Force!